Hey everybody, I have just been given the task of finding something to do with all of these amazing little zucchini. These are super ripe. They had to go like today, so I got these at a super discounted rate at a local grocery store. I have about a dozen of these little guys right here, and I need to get busy getting these in a dish. So I'm gonna make a really quick zucchini bread. It's something that's really satisfying. It's really tasty. It's got cinnamon and sugar and brown sugar and some applesauce in it too, but since I made apple butter, I'm gonna use that instead of the applesauce, and it kind of cuts back on the sugar a little bit. So anyway, I'm gonna get started with cutting the stems off of these guys and tipping the little ends. So I'm just gonna do that on all of them. They've already been washed, so no worries there. And in order to cut these really small and get them into the bread, I need to use a cheese grater, and I know I had it out right here. I'm going to use my cheese grater, the large setting, and I'm just going to grate my zucchini right into the bowl. And it shreds up in no time, so you don't have to worry about mincing, chopping, about needing any kind of special equipment in the food processor. If you want to use it, go for it, but this works just as well. So I'm going to go ahead and tip the rest of these guys and shred them up. I only need about 1.5 cups, so that's probably going to be about 3 of these little zucchini. Let's see if we can make some more with the rest. 3 of these little guys have shred into oblivion into this. This is about 1.5 cups, maybe a little bit more, but I'm not too worried about the exact measurements of the amount of zucchini. I just wanted 3 whole little guys in there. So I have all of this extra. I'm going to find something else to do with it. I might make another loaf because you can easily freeze this. To my zucchini, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of granulated sugar plus 1/4 cup of brown sugar right in there. To this, I'm also going to add 1/2 cup of apple butter. Now, I made apple butter the other day. It's got allspice and clove and cinnamon, sugar, brown sugar, and a ton of apples. And if you don't have apple butter, you can buy it from the store, or you can just use applesauce. And if you don't have applesauce, that's okay too. You can still use oil. So here we go. Apple butter going in. Okay. And 1/3 cup of olive oil. And I love to use olive oil in just about everything that I make. Vegetable oil I like to reserve for frying. But olive oil, sometimes coconut oil, this is the good stuff. Okay, in there. And I also want to add 2 eggs right into the mix as well. And it's all going to get mixed up together really super well. All of this is in the bowl. I've got my zucchini, my eggs, my sugar, my apple butter and oil, and I'm going to give it a really good stir. Now, I could use the whisk, but all of these shreds of zucchini just get caught up in the whisk. So I just use the spoon. This is all mixed up, so now I want to add 1.5 cups of flour right into my bowl. I mean, what's a day without getting a little flour in my hands, right? Not a normal day for Keisha. I'm covered in it. In this little container, I have 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. So that goes in as well, every last bit, as well as 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract right here. Now, you can add cinnamon if you want, but the reason that I'm omitting it is because the apple butter has cinnamon in it. Otherwise, you would add a tablespoon of ground cinnamon. Mix it until it's just incorporated. Careful not to overdo it. All of the flour has been mixed in and really well incorporated. I don't see any white streaks at all. So I'm going to taste the batter. It tastes really cinnamony, you know, kind of like what you would expect around the holidays, but it's not overpowering. The cinnamon and the apple butter was just perfect. Just the right amount of sweetness, just the right amount of crispness from the flavor of the zucchini, and fruitiness from the olive oil. That's a really, really pleasant flavor to be added to this cake. Perfect. All right. Now that the batter is thoroughly mixed, I'm gonna go ahead and get my prepared pan, which is a 9-inch loaf pan that I've got buttered really well in all of the nooks and crannies. And what I like to do with quick breads, especially sweet recipes, is put a little bit of sugar, just a little sprinkling of sugar all over the pan. And that way, not only does it give another little flavor of sweetness, but it also adds a little texture and a little bit of crunch and snap on the crust, as well as kind of helping an easy release from the pan whenever it's done baking. So just a little sprinkle. This is probably half a teaspoon, maybe 3/4 of a teaspoon of sugar, but it's all over inside the pan, just like that. So buttery, sugary goodness. And I like to dust it over the bowl, so if there's any extra sugar, it just falls right into the batter. Okay. You are gonna go over here. Now it's time to dish it up. Okay. All right, so I have the bowl pretty clean, everything fit in the pan, but I don't want the bowl too clean because the best part is licking it. Just like that. Right. This is gonna go into a 350-degree oven for about an hour. Then we're gonna let it cool, slice into it. First we have to bake it. Welcome back. Here we are 1 hour later, and look at our beautiful zucchini bread. Look at this. 3 of these little guys right here, just 3 of them shredded up with some applesauce, some sugar, a couple of eggs. Oh my gosh, and a whole lot of flavor. Okay, so remember that I put sugar on the inside of the pan, and check this out. See if it'll unmold for us. It will. Oh, there we go. Look at that beautiful golden brown. Does it stick? Perfect. So be sure and butter it really well. Sprinkle a little sugar for, a little extra something sweet, and texture too. So check this out. Beautiful bottom crust, beautiful top layer, and I'm just gonna cut a nice little slice off the end of it. Look at that. You see all the specks of zucchini in there? This is unbelievable. I have to have a bite. Okay. Smell the cinnamon, I smell the sweetness of the apple. It's so moist. It's so cake-like. I mean, it's super sweet, but not overpoweringly sweet. The sugar on the outside gives it just a tiny little extra crunch. This is a big time winner. Okay guys, easy peasy zucchini bread. You gotta try it, gotta go for it. Look for produce that's on sale, look for discounted produce, little things like this. Shred them up, it's done in an hour. You can do this, super simple. Really, really, really fabulously delicious. Okay. Kitchen Bravo's got you covered. I got more recipes, more tips, and a whole lot more zucchini to work with. And a mouthful. Okay guys, we'll see you next time.